still 2 key games coming up in November, still to decide the fates of these
viewers. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's Jamaica versus Curacao. This is a must-win for Jamaica. Last I checked, Curacao was leading in that Trinidad game, so Jamaica need a result in this game versus Bermuda. Of course, in the first go-around, Jamaica won that one 4-0. So, on paper, Jamaica should take care of business for sure. I mean, they're a better unit than this Bermuda team, so they should take care of business. But the good thing going for Jamaica is that Jamaica has their destiny in their own hands. All they have to do is to win the remaining games they have to play. Starting tonight, of course. Beat Bermuda, go to Trinidad, beat Trinidad, and then return home to beat Curacao. So the mission is quite simple, quite straightforward. Destiny is still in our own hands. And of course, for this one, I had to bring out the Jamaican jersey. This one, I have to bring out the Jamaican jersey because we need to go hard or it's going home time. And we see a number of other teams already booking their spot in the World Cup. The latest to do so, the likes of South Africa and the likes of Portugal earlier as well. So, number of teams booking their spot. But welcome to the live watch along. The live watch along to this one. The Jamaica takes on the Bermudan team at home, and we see Jamaica in their blue, their yellow and green, and Bermuda all decked out in pink, it seems. Interesting choice of colors there, for sure. But national anthems are now on the way, so we'll respect the national anthems at the moment. But interesting game ahead for sure. Interesting game ahead. Curacao leading Trinidad 1-0 at halftime in Trinidad. So that's not necessarily the scoreline Jamaica wanted. Ideally, a draw would have been the best option over in that game. But right now it is Curacao who are leading Trinidad. And in terms of the live table, Curacao would basically be on 10 points if that scoreline holds. And if Jamaica do go on to win this one, then Jamaica would be a point behind on 9 points. Bermuda would still remain on 0, and Trinidad and Tobago would remain on 4. So Jamaica's destiny is still in their own hands. That's pretty much it. As I said, the equation at this point in time is very simple. Win all your remaining games, and World Cup 2026 is Jamaica's destiny. Starting, of course, with this game versus Bermuda. So beat Bermuda at home, travel to Trinidad, beat Trinidad in that November international window, and then return to Jamaica to face off with Curacao in that final game. So, as I said, viewers, subscribers, the equation is simple still for Jamaica. Win all your remaining games and you're in the next World Cup. Things now will get very dicey if further points are dropped. Then destiny will be out of their own hands. They would be depending on other teams to do them a favor. And I'm not sure that is necessarily the best thing to hope for at this point in time. So take care of business this evening and move on to the next one. So 3 points is a must in this one. But they should, as I said, on paper, Jamaica is the better team. They took care of business away from home versus this opponent earlier in the group stages. 4-0. Coming back home now with some more players returning into the team as opposed to the team which faced off with
for Steve McLaren
with
and Jamaica from
Curacao. This should be a stronger team as well.
Last week, most notably, Shamar Nicholson gets the start up top, leading the front line along the lines of Dixon and Cephas. The likes of Reed and
so the
Palmer,
midfield,
in the midfield, and of course the Reggae Boyz are captain
Hayden coming back into the midfield.
one of the best
You could say one of the better Jamaican midfielders that we've had. I still personally don't like the centre-back pairing of Pinnock and Richards. I think they are too similar of players. I thought Lowe would have been the man to come in for either Pinnock or Richards, but that's not how Steve McLaren is seeing things. Most great centre-back pairings, you need an aggressor and then you need a calming influence. To me, Pinnock and Richards are both two calming influence. You don't have an aggressor in that pair. You want a Lowe who is more of an aggressor. So I thought, or I think, a combination of Lowe and Pinnock or Lowe and Richards would be the better option for Jamaica going forward, not only in this game, but in the event that Jamaica do qualify for the World Cup, then that's one of the combinations I will be looking at, as opposed to the one which is starting in this game, which is Pinnock and Richards. Two calming influence, you need an aggressor and a calmer. But such are these things. We'll see how this one plays out. Of course, this is Bermuda. You might not necessarily need to be at your best to get a result versus this team, but for sure, they too are fighting for their lives. They can't afford to drop any further points. Otherwise, they will be mathematically eliminated from the competition, pretty much. So, and of course, I mean, you're in the qualifiers. You want to register at least a point to, make your nation proud, of course. So, I'm sure they're not going to be rolling over and giving Jamaica this game. This should be a stern test, but I expect Jamaica to come away from this one victorious. And we see the youngster Dixon getting a start in this one as well. He normally looks very active whenever he gets on the ball, so I think that's a good selection, bringing in Dixon to the team. Yep. This one about to kick off. But what do you think, Bobby Reed in D mid? That is a strange one, Prince. I see you, Prince J Music. I'm not convinced by Bobby Reed in a defensive midfield position. None at all. Well, none of the Jamaican midfielders have convinced me in all honesty. So while we may be able to get away with it in this game versus a weak team, pretty much the beaten stick team in the zone, going forward, that is not gonna cut it, for want of a better word. That's definitely not gonna cut it. I mean, Bobby Reed is really a round peg in a square hole, playing defensive mid. No, I'm not seeing it. I'm not having it going forward. Definitely not. And that might be one of the weaknesses that this Bermuda team could very well exploit in this game. Midfield has been Jamaica's problem from the jump. And playing a Bobby Reed in that position, it doesn't make sense at all. It's better you had started Low in that deep mid, to be honest with you, Prince. It's better Low was playing that defensive mid position. At least he would have given better protection for the defensive line if it was Low playing that. But Bobby Reed, no, not convinced. Whenever we come up against good opposition, that's an area of weakness that will be surely exploited. So, but at this stage, to be honest, we should not be experimenting with players. We should have a settled team. I mean, including this game, we have two qualifiers left after this game, and we're still searching for midfielders. That's not the hallmark of champions. We should have a settled team. We should be able to pick our starting 11 with our eyes closed at this point in time. We should not be spelling or guessing. That was the Gold Cup. The Gold Cup gave us that opportunity to experiment with different players in different positions. At this point in time, you should be locked in with your team and ready to go. But obviously, that's the situation Jamaica finds itself in. And, but in fairness, Prince, Jamaica seem to be bypassing the midfield. And they've started that already in this game. Long ball, taking out the midfield, and pretty much hiking it up to the forward. So
more and more of a look in this Steve McLaren.
Another wasted ball right there.
The top, however, is off the mark.
Yep. I'm not convinced by McLaren in all honesty either, to be honest.
Has as much experience.
He failed with England with a fairly good team, and when you look at this Jamaica team on paper, they are the best team outside of the US, Canada, and Mexico. And we still find ourselves clawing for a spot in those World Cup finals. So we need to take care of business in this one. The sooner we get a goal, then it should settle the player, it should settle the crowd as well.
Or the Reggae Boyz who have not been back since.
Yeah, that was 98. Last time Jamaica qualified for the World Cup. Public holiday was given. It was quite an historic moment. But since 98, we have failed to make it back to another World Cup final.
History, they find their way to a World Cup.
Almost a regression, to be honest. When you look at the other teams, like Japan, for example. We were in the same group in 98 with Japan, and we beat Japan in that game we had with them. That was the third game of the group stages. And look at Japan now. Japan taking care of business versus a rampant Brazilian team today. So that is just how far the disparity is in terms of the teams which qualified for 98. Japan beating the mighty Brazil. Jamaica struggling and losing to a team like Curacao, struggling to qualify for the World Cup.
Jamaica are able to clear it.
Yeah, such are these things. I see your Prince here saying low. Yeah, play D mid. That's where. Yeah, definitely. If you're searching for a D mid, low would be the man. He brings energy to the team. He brings a fighting spirit to the team. The crowd loves him, especially in front of home. He brings a level of aggression, sometimes too much aggression. But I don't think this is a game which would require him to go overboard with that aggression. We are a better team than Bermuda. So to me, this would have been an ideal game for Low to slot in right in that defensive mid position. Right now you're playing Bobby Reed out of position, pretty much. That's not his best position. He is more of a winger, attack-minded player, not a defensive midfielder at all. But probably for this game, McLaren is thinking, all right, I need to get my best players on the pitch. How can I do that? Because I don't think Jamaica will necessarily need a linchpin defensive mid to take care of this Bermuda team. I'm not sure. So that might be the thinking, that you need to have all your better players on the pitch to try and get an early goal, possibly. Maybe he has something up his sleeve from a tactical point of view, which, a plan B. If things don't go according to plan, then you can probably resort to a plan B, making some on-field changes versus having to make a sub. But we'll see how it goes. Early days. Just 6 minutes gone in this one. Jamaica dominating possession as is expected. Bermuda holding out defensively.
Good step there from King.
And I mean, the team looks well supported based on the images I'm seeing in the stands. It's a decent crowd for a World Cup qualifier. I mean, lots of empty seats nevertheless, but the Vuvuzelas are still active. But for sure, some people have obviously jumped off the bandwagon. For sure. The bleachers has a heap of seat, a whole heap of seat to go. So the public isn't convinced, it seems. I mean, this would have been a game if Jamaica had taken care of business versus Curacao. This would have been a sealer game. Jamaica having taken care of business versus Curacao and won this game, I think it would have pretty much sealed them into the final. They wouldn't necessarily. The other two games would have been dead rubbers. But as it is now, Jamaica have to fight and go down to the wire for this one. It will basically come down to the last game for Jamaica to seal qualification versus Curacao if results remain as is. And even if results change, it's gonna come down to the last game. But free kick, dangerous free kick for Bermuda. Player being brought down by Hayden, a Newcastle player or a former player of Newcastle. He's one of those English-based players which McLaren brought into the team, you know. High-profile name player, you know. But
the Philadelphia Union
being cautioned early on by the referee and in a dangerous position.
In the right position to defend this free kick.
Free kick, maybe about, 27 yards out.
Keziah Martin is eyeing this up for Bermuda. It's just about within range. Martin hits it right into the wall. Recovered by Reggie Lamb.
Not much came off that free kick at all, but for sure, Bermuda is not lying down. Bermuda is not lying down at all.
For a chance here. Nicholson can't clear it. There's the shot in the end.
First shot on target there in the game.
Easily caught by his opposite captain.
Yeah. Easy enough shot, but intent being shown there by Bermuda. Intent, attacking intent, getting a shot on target. So Jamaica definitely have to come good, but I think they will eventually wear down this Bermuda rear guard. And there you go with the long ball again, bypassing everyone. Easy defending. You know, this is meat and drink for the Bermudan defenders whole day. Easy meat and drink. We are, you know, already we're seeing the Jamaican team running out of offensive ideas. The creativity in the midfield is lacking. we're just kicking it up long and hoping versus seeing some sort of concerted intent to attack. We're just kicking it long.
Dixon does get the ball, but he goes
fouled there by the youngster Dixon. He definitely has to be careful.
That's why the referee awards.
Tackling obviously is not his forte, you know. Scissors in down the player there, so early mark against his name in this one.
And a poor fee allows Bermuda to win the ball back with Critchlow.
Yeah.
But he cannot get past Reed. Reed forward thinking, looks up ahead, Dwight's header. Nicholson couldn't quite corral it, but Jamaica
long ball again.
Throw with 10 minutes gone in the first half.
Bypassing the midfield for sure. Bypassing the midfield. But this has been what Jamaica has been doing since McLaren got the job, to be honest with you. We're not seeing any quality build-up play where, you know, the ball is progressing from the defense to the midfield to the forward. It seems as if once the ball goes into the opposition half, the team runs out of ideas. Another long ball again going straight through to the goalkeeper. Yeah, it's not a good look.
These two teams last met in general.
Not a good look at all.
September 5th to start the final round of World Cup qualifying. Jamaica with a road win, 4-0 was the final score that night. Then Bermuda played a whale of a contest a few days later against Curacao, finished 3-2 to Curacao in the end, but Bermuda certainly played their part, and then Trinidad and Tobago sort of brought them back down to earth 4 days ago. A 3-0 win for the Soca Warriors has put Bermuda in this tight spot.
This is the starting 11.
Yeah, for Jamaica, the 4-0 win over Bermuda is the flags up here against Dixon. That they beat their arch rivals, Trinidad and Tobago, 2-0. That was a
early days in this one, though, viewers. Early days, just 12 minutes gone in this one. Both teams running hard.
Reggae Boyz
Jamaica
tonight.
attacking. Bermuda defending.
Through all the rounds of World Cup
No clear-cut
qualifiers so
chance is
far,
created
Jamaica
as yet.
Pretty much the whole way.
Nothing as yet
It's
in
been
terms
smooth
of
sailing. They've beaten some pretty good teams and some of the top teams in the
clear-cut chances.
qualifiers.
And to be honest, based on these attacks, Bermuda
Loss away from home
are
against
looking the
Curacao
more
is their first
dangerous of the
real
two
look on the
teams,
road.
in all honesty. Another wasted ball again, over the top, straight through to the goalkeeper. How many of these balls will Jamaica continue to play? Ball over the top, going straight through to the goalkeeper, or ball over the top with a headed cushion back to the goalkeeper. That's easy defending. Easy defending. That's not going to break this team down. You need some creativity. Get it wide, let the wingers see fast take on the defenders. That's one option. But this long ball, that's crazy.
The foul by Roger Lee gives Jamaica a set piece
Free
opportunity.
kick opportunity for Jamaica in a dangerous position here. Should be looking to get something inside the box, I would want to think. Dixon drawing the foul. Whenever Dixon plays, though, I'm impressed by this youngster, to be honest with you. Whenever Dixon plays, these teams look better offensively. He brings a level of energy, enthusiasm, and he's a crowd favorite as well. I think the coach need to use him more often, give him more minutes. He should be one of the first names on the team sheet at this point in time. One for the future, and one who has elevated his game as well. He has to be one of the first names on the team sheet, because every time I've watched this player in Jamaica colors, he brings a level of energy which the other players are not bringing. And he's the one who drew this foul, which led to this free kick. So that's the first shot of intent there by Jamaica. Goalkeeper coming up with a save. So that's a good look.
In these early stages that the Reggae Boyz have had, everyone looked to have been onside.
Fairly easy save, but I like that. Get some shots on target, show some intent. Show your intention to score, because you need goals. You need goals. You need goals. Goals win matches.
Holding onto the ball too long there. Eventually Blake does distribute.
Of course, Curacao still leading Trinidad. 1-0. So that doesn't augur well for this Jamaica team. Ideally, you would want a draw, or even Curacao losing. But Curacao winning just adds more pressure for this Jamaican team to get a result in this game. Well, Trinidad seem to have pulled one back. The score coming through is that Trinidad is now level. It's now 1-1, which is a good result for Jamaica. 1-1, good result. It means if Jamaica were to go on and win this game, they would be back at the top of the table. Nothing would have changed in terms of them needing to win all games in order to shore up their qualification, but it would be less pressure. The last game versus Curacao might not necessarily mean you have to win. You could possibly get a draw and you'll still make it through. But that's a good scoreline result for Jamaica. 1-1 between Trinidad and Curacao at this point in time. Second half action there. 1-1 is the latest score I'm hearing coming through the grapevines. So keeping an eye on that game, but also watching this one. You know, Jamaica need to take care of business. Neighbors Trinidad is doing them a favor. And of course, Trinidad is definitely in with a shout. So that game versus Trinidad in Trinidad will be no walk in the park either.
Palmer to deliver.
Yep, that will be no walk in the park.
It's a really good ball in. The header, not so much. Did it take a deflection? That's the Reggae Boyz.
Jamaica definitely looking more intentional.
It's a goal kick.
They would have wanted one of those Arsenal type corners to be buried in the back of the net. You know.
Another really good crowd
But
here at the
that's
National
not the
Stadium
case.
in Kingston. Hopeful that Jamaica can get back on track. But Bermuda certainly pose a threat.
Yeah, Bermuda definitely probing. So Jamaica has to be careful of the counter attack.
For Bermuda, they just haven't quite had the numbers.
That's to be careful.
Of course, they try not to commit too many forward because they have to deal with this Reggae Boyz attack. Cephas into the middle here, and Reed sees it touched away. Chance here for Palmer. Oh, side netting.
Wow. That's a quality strike, but off target. Hit the target, Palmer. You need to hit the target. The target need to be hit. That's probably the best attack of the game thus far, and it came from the left side. Cephas, as I mentioned earlier, give Cephas the ball, let he run at the defense and put squares into the box. That has been the success. That has been the way Jamaica has been successful in these early qualifiers. Cephas putting in squares and forwards getting on the end of these shots.
The Jamaican technical area wanted a foul.
But yeah, it's building. It's definitely building.
Still, Jamaica trying to push forward. It's deflected.
It's definitely building, which is good. That's definitely a good thing. Definitely. Yep. Let me know what you think, viewers and subscribers. Let me know what you think. Who do you think will win this one? Does Jamaica have what it takes to get the better of this Bermuda team? What's your thought? How do you think the team is playing? To me, nothing special as of yet. The game is going as I expected. Jamaica is a better team on paper, so you would expect them to dominate possession with Bermuda playing on the counter attack. And so far, that has been the case. I think if Jamaica is able to score one goal, then outside of possibly a set play, a free kick, a corner, I don't really see this Bermuda team scoring. But the intent has to be for Jamaica to score. The onus is on Jamaica to score. They are the ones who most desperately need the result, especially with the latest score coming through from the Curacao Trinidad game. That game is currently 1-1.
See the table there has updated. Trinidad and Tobago have equalized just past the hour mark.
Right, so Trinidad and Tobago equalized.
That would mean, again, if the result holds, that Curacao would only be on 8 points, Trinidad and Tobago on 5. And there would be a chance for the Reggae Boyz to then end the night at the top of the group.
Yes, sir.
They would, of course, have to win here. We'll keep you updated on that game as it moves along. Here is Dixon for the Reggae Boyz. Still behind Dixon. Oh, he tried to take out the shot.
That is not a good look, Dixon. Not a good look. But again, I like the build up. Whenever you give Cephas the ball, things happen. And again, he got the ball on the left side, dribbled, came inside, made a couple passes. The defense opened up, pulled out a position, and Dixon was able to get a shot away. With better quality, he could have tested the goalkeeper. But this has to be the approach from the Jamaica team. The long ball over the top not going to work. Build from the back. Get it wide to your wingers. Allow them to take on players, be it a man or two, and then get some crosses into the box. Get some pass. It pulls players out of position. Whenever you do that, defense gets pulled apart. Kicking the ball over the top, kicking it long is easy work. Easy work. Easy work.
Had a nudge down for Dixon. Pass goes behind Bobby Reed, who could not collect it.
Yep. Easy work.
Over the top, the header nudge down.
We continue to watch
to Blake.
And see what's going on. We continue to watch on. But what's your score prediction, viewers? What's the predicted outcome come 90 minutes? 1-0, 2-0, 3-0.
Beaten to it by Dwight. That good
It's
battle
what,
between those two
22 minutes gone in this one.
And a wonderful bit of skill here on the far side.
No real test for either goalkeeper.
There are pink shirts queuing up. The shot was deflected. Faint handball appeals come in.
Oh, real test.
Blake outlets it into space. It's a chance for the Reggae Boyz to run it up the other end. Great ball fed through for Cepos. He's one-on-one. No, what a save.
Well, that is definitely a good save.
Keeps Jamaica out after a breakneck pace break up the other end. How quickly Jamaica can run it from one end to the other. Cepos nearly does everything right. A kick save from Dale Eve keeps Jamaica, for now, off the board. And that
that was the best attack. Goalkeeper coming up with a save. Again, down that left side for Jamaica. That left side of Jamaica seemed to be getting a lot of success versus this Bermuda team. The left side, the side Cephas is playing on. So we need to continue to attack down that side. Attacking that side team to be opening up this Bermudan team. Yep.
Reed tried to pick up the pieces, cannot find a teammate. Dixon tries to win it back. Palmer follows up with a lovely turn.
Wow.
And then he's brought down.
So the Bermuda team coming under a bit of pressure from Jamaica now, turning the screws. That's what you want. You want chances being created, goal scoring chances, shots going off the goal. So this is a dangerous attack. Another free kick. Just outside the 18 yards, maybe about 25 yards out.
All of a sudden they have another chance here.
Let's see if they can make something of this one.
Who did not get the ball away cleanly. Beautiful turn there from Palmer, who was then brought to the ground.
Let's see how this free kick plays out. Need a good delivery and a Jamaican player to be getting on the end of it. Shemar Nicholson getting a start in this one as well. Hasn't been in the starting 11 for a while. He's now back. Can he find a goal?
From the free kick.
Oh, wow. 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 Wow.
Puts it into his own net.
Own goal.
And hands Jamaica the
Wow.
opening goal here in Kingston.
What's going on here?
They don't care how it goes in. Just that
Own
it goes
goal.
in.
Jamaica leads
And the
1-0.
Reggae
Will
Boyz
VAR
leads
intervene?
25 minutes.
Let's see how this one goes.
You feel for the
Was it
Bermuda
offside?
captain here, but he did not realize where he was putting it. And Steve McLaren's man strike first. Another look. Surely Leverock thinks
I'm
he's
not
a bit
necessarily
further
seeing
to
anything
one
wrong with
side
this goal.
of the goal here than the other. And he thinks
So the
he's
goal,
gonna
the ball is in the back of the net, courtesy of our
Instead, he
own
nudges it
goal
into the back of his
from a
own net.
Bermudan player.
It's a gift
But of
that the
course,
Reggae Boyz will happily accept.
let's see when VAR checks this one, what the final decision is.
Top of the group. Tough to take for
Wow.
Dante Leverock.
So 1-0 to Jamaica, courtesy of our own goal.
Some kind of a response here.
Wow, this has definitely shaken the Bermudan team. Definitely. Well, this is definitely what Jamaica wants. Easy ball in the back of the net, ease the pressure off. You can now relax and play some football. Relax and now play some football. This should give the team some confidence. Let's see if another goal can be found to pretty much seal this one early. Cephas down the left again. That's excellent.
Rounds out the group. And here come the Reggae Boyz again.
All right, so that's a second goal. Brilliant.
In a flash.
Bobby Reed getting that one. Cephas the creator. I've been saying that all game. Give Cephas the ball down the left side. Let him put in some crosses. And the players will get on the end of the ball. That has been the formula for Jamaica in the first two qualifiers, which we got positive results from. Cephas has been the man. He has been the most informed Jamaican players. And that has been the case in this one again. Cephas down the left. He has the beating of these players whole game. Easy tap in for Bobby Reed. Easy. He won't get an easier goal in this game. 2-0. That's it. So now you can settle the game and play some football. You're leading 2-0. Results are going perfectly over there in Trinidad as well. So now, relax, play some ball, get your passes together, pull Bermuda out, and then exploit the space in behind. Possession-based football now. Keep the ball and create chances. That's what you need at this point. Cut out the long balls. Cut out the long hoofs over the top. Put the ball down, play some football now. You're now leading, the pressure is off. So get some knock-ins, so to speak. Get some knock-ins.
It wasn't quite 9.58 seconds, but it was rather swift.
Yeah, it's 2 goals in quick succession. 2 goals in quick succession. It's often said you're most vulnerable after a goal is scored. And that was what reached Bermuda. It's almost like they were still shook by the own goal. And before they realized what was happening, it was 2-0. So Jamaica leads 2-0. Pressure is off. Play some football. I don't know. It's almost as if I'm talking to a brick wall. These guys will not play some knock-ins. It's still balls over the top. Even when you're leading 2-0. Put the ball down and knock it. Keep possession. Come on, man. Put the ball on the carpet and knock some football. Stop kicking the ball over the top. Stop bypassing the midfield. Put the ball down and knock it. Knock it around. Possess the ball. Rough. McLaren has a tough task. Because I'm sure he didn't go out there and tell these guys to kick away the balls. You're leading 2-0. The pressure is off. You no longer have to be hunting for a goal. You got 2. So now, possess the ball. Put it on the carpet. Draw this Bermuda team out. Let them come to you. And then you exploit the space. Knock some ball. Possess the ball.
Looking for a bit of hope as the rest of this
bring the midfield into the game.
Now Bermuda will need to score at least 3.
So this is a chance for Dixon. Good save by the keeper there. But that's what you need to do. Just put the ball on the ground.
With every sequence, they have another corner upcoming.
That's what you need.
Now, look at that.
Oh, wow. Nice little skill there, piling off a face there, Nicholson. Confidence running the team now. What a goal can do for the confidence. What a goal can do for the confidence. Wow. You would not have seen this sort of skill at Nilal. But now 2-0, you just can see the confidence flowing in the team. And of course, with the oohs and ahs from the fans as well in the stands. You know, this team is all over Bermuda.
Palmer looks into the heart of the area. Eve gets a decent hand to that.
Yep. I mean, Bermuda is definitely there for the taking. I mean, the first game away from home ended 4-0. Jamaica now playing at home, already 2 goals in the lead. Then one would expect an even heavier scoreline going forward. So let's see how the rest of this one plays out. But for sure, at this point in time, business done. Knock the ball around. Keep your clean sheet. Play some football. Create some chances and try to score as many as possible. The Trinidad game is still ongoing and anything can still happen in that game. You know, the score could change by the minute.
So far, the first half an hour has gone according to plan.
One of the tiebreakers is goal difference. So you want to be scoring as many goals as possible if the opportunities present themselves.
Trying to force the issue here. Recovered by Lee.
Yep.
Palmer.
But yeah, the addition of the midfielders,
Lays it off for King.
Hayden and Palmer, you can definitely see the difference that these players have made in these Jamaican teams. Granted, they are not the best midfielders when you come up against quality opposition. But for the likes of Bermuda, they should be able to get the business done. And you can see the difference in the team when compared to how they played against Curacao. So those 2 players, Palmer and Hayden, you can see that they were surely missed in that game versus Curacao. They were 2 key elements that were missing. Hence, you got a fairly dismal result in that game. I mean, granted, the opposition is different. You could say Bermuda is significantly weaker than Curacao. But for sure, the addition of those two players have made a significant difference in that midfield. But Cephas is the man. Get the ball to Cephas on the left side of the Jamaican attack. Cephas is the man. Whenever Cephas gets the ball, things happen. Whenever Cephas get the ball, things happen. He is the hot foot for Jamaica. He's the man on form in terms of creativity. Once he gets the ball, he runs at defenders. He beats them. It then drags other players out of position and space open up for the Jamaican attackers. So the idea should be put the ball on the ground, knock it around, get the ball to Cephas. Let him do the damage on that left side. That's the Bermuda right. Jamaica left, Bermuda right side. That seems to be where Jamaica is getting the success from. But they just need to put the ball on the ground, man. Defend well, put the ball on the ground. The long ball thing, not going to work. Not going to work one bit. But viewers, subscribers, what do you think? What's your predicted scoreline? Leave it in the comment section. Let me know. What's the scoreline you're predicting for this one? Jamaica already 2 goals up. 33 minutes gone in this one. Leave your predicted final score in the comment section. Let me know what you're thinking. Yeah, that's definitely a yellow card offense for sure. Definitely a yellow card. So another free kick opportunity coming up for Jamaica. Will they capitalize on this one? They already capitalized from our own goal, from a free kick on the right side. Let's see what's going on.
Simmons made sure he did not keep his footing after that and picks up a yellow card because of it.
Let's see.
Down the line for Dixon. Now Lembakisa. For the goal scorer, Reed.
Yeah, man, just knock it around. That's all I've been asking for. Knock it around. Chances will appear once you maintain possession of the football. Chances will open up. Just knock it. Cut the long ball out. Bring the midfield in the game. Get it wide.
Lembakisa.
That's it.
Oh, Dixon tried to find Reed. Still behind Dixon.
Just get it to Cephas, man. Cephas is the man.
Lee out wide. Cephas. A burst of pace.
There you go.
Again,
say 3-0. That's what I'm telling you. 3-0. Just get the ball to Cephas. Cephas is the man. He's the hot hand. Cephas. Get the ball to Cephas on the Jamaica left. He beats players. He draws defenders out of position. And he is putting in quality crosses for the attackers to get onto. That's 2 assists for Cephas now in the game. He is the man. 3 goals to 0. Easy walk in the park. Job done. Just maintain your defensive solidity now. And the rest will take care of itself. But just get the ball to Cephas. Cephas is the man. That's it. You can't stop him. That's it. Another tap in. Another tap in. Nicholson getting on the end of that one. It was Bobby Reed for the second goal now. Nicholson for the third. Yep. That's it. Easy beat and teach, man. Not the ball, get it to Cephas. Cephas will do the rest. The formula is simple at this point in time. This one is all but over, really. This one is all but over. There's really no comeback for Bermuda in this one. It's just a matter of how many at this point in time.
Well, so far it's been just what
and confidence is now flowing through the team. Yeah, it's just one wave of attack after the next. Oh my, off the post from Dixon. That should have been buried, man. That should have been buried. You won't get a better chance than that for Dixon, the local, well, not really local anymore, but he grew up in the local system, former Clarendon College player. And he is definitely a proud favorite. You can see that. But that should have been a better finish. That should have been a better finish for sure. Goalkeeper saving it
Dixon
his foot.
cannot believe his
And the
luck.
ball popping up on the crossbar. But Dixon should have definitely buried that one and made it 4-0. Because again, viewers,
That was
this
nearly a
could
goal
potentially
out of this
come
world.
down to goal difference.
From the Reggae Boyz, from a team perspective,
It's not
you see
beyond the
smiles
realm of
amongst
possibility
the
that
supporters, and they say,
qualifying
"How on earth
for
did that
World
not
Cup
go in?"
2026 could rest with goal difference. It could. Next game is Jamaica versus Trinidad, and Curacao takes on Bermuda. So again,
are off to this near side now after that.
It's not beyond the realm of possibility that goal difference could play a significant role in this qualification. So if you get your chances, you need to take full advantage. You need to take full advantage. But yeah, Dixon should have buried that one. Another good opportunity missed. So the scoring started with the own goal. And then you give it to Cephas. He created one for Bobby Reid. And then you give it to Cephas again, and he created the third for Nicholson. But yeah, the Jamaican left side. Yeah, that's it. That's it. The formula is simple, viewers. The formula is simple. At least for this game. Let's not get carried away. For this game, the formula is simple. But for sure, going forward, when Jamaica comes up against better opposition, then these same qualities which they're showing now need to remain steadfast. The same qualities. You can't, you know, Jamaica tend to revert to the long ball mentality once they come up against quality opposition. You know, you lose that tactical discipline once better opposition are in the equation.
Wasn't the best of clearances there by King. Did enough, but does concede a corner.
Yeah. But yeah, that center, going back to that centre back pairing, I think Lowe and King is a good pairing, or Lowe and Pinnock. But against better opposition,
corners taken short.
I'm not convinced by Richards and Pinnock,
as far as Lamb,
to be honest.
Lamb's cross is deflected.
And McLaren has tough decisions to make for sure. Looking ahead. I mean, this one is all but finished in my opinion. You're leading 3-0 before halftime, just about 7 or 8 minutes before halftime. And you're up 3-0. This one is all but done. So you can't necessarily look ahead yet. You still have a whole 45 to play. And one, if Bermuda was to pull back a goal, then it may offer some sort of encouragement. But Jamaica should see this one out, in all honesty. Just, you know, maintain your defensive discipline and keep possession of the ball. Don't get carried away. Everyone bursting forward to try to get a goal. You have to maintain your discipline. So you don't necessarily want that to be the case where you see that this is a weaker opposition, and then all of a sudden you lose your tactical discipline, everyone bursting forward, and then you're exposed at the back. You don't want that. You want to maintain the discipline, put the ball on the ground, possess the ball, pass it around, get the ball wide to Cephas. Anytime Cephas touch the ball, viewers, something happened. He has touched it 3 times, and that has resulted in 3 goals. Give the ball to Cephas. The more Cephas is on the ball, the higher our chances of scoring. Get it to the left side of Jamaican attack. The right side of Bermuda is super weak. Get the ball to Cephas. Pretty much. But yeah, interesting times ahead, viewers. Interesting times ahead. In all honesty, because I've counted this one out. The next big test is Trinidad. Everyone should pretty much beat Bermuda. The next big game for Jamaica is versus Trinidad, and that is like a Caribbean derby. Granted, Jamaica did get the better of them 2-0 at Independence Park in Jamaica, but it might be a different ball game playing in Trinidad. And that's another game that Jamaica will need a result from. Definitely. Spicer is the man who got that goal for Trinidad, and he seems to be a quality player. He plays his football in the MLS for Orlando Soccer Club. He's a quality player. 24-year-old Spicer. Remember the name, viewers. Spicer, Trinidadian. Plays in the MLS, but quality player. Quality player. I definitely rate him. From I saw him versus Jamaica. He was a constant threat to that Jamaican defense when Trinidad played Jamaica. So he is definitely one to look out for going into that qualifier in November. Spicer. The hopes of Trinidad lies with Spicer, to be honest with you. Because at this point in time, Trinidad is still drawing with Curacao. Trinidad is going to need all the points they can get. And Jamaica is a game they will have to win. Versus Jamaica is a game Trinidad will have to win if they want to get anything from, if they want to qualify for the World Cup.
Receive the ball. Back for Andre Blake.
On the back of this possible draw with Curacao. That one isn't finished as yet. That one is still 1-1. But just looking ahead in terms of the permutations.
Panama hosting Suriname, 9 p.m. Eastern.
But yeah, it's just a case at this point now for Jamaica. I've seen this one out. It's just a case I've seen this one out. Just maintain position, knock it around, get it wide to Cephas, and Cephas will do the business.
Everyone will have 2 games left in November to go.
That's the formula that has been working. So just need to continue doing that. And just remain disciplined tactically from a defensive point of view.
It's cut out.
That's
by
it.
Isaac Hayden with 2 minutes plus stoppages left.
Just remain disciplined. But yeah, I mean, Bermuda offered something earlier in the game, but since those early knockings, since the Jamaican team have settled and since they've gone ahead, it's been total dominance. If Jamaica can maintain their discipline and cut out the long balls and continue to play the short passing game, more goals are in this for them. And as you know, the Bermudan team tire as well. More opportunities will open up also. So just starve them off the ball, keep knocking it, pass and move, get it wide to Cephas again, and he'll do the business. That has been the formula. That formula has led to 2 goals. So if it's working, don't change it. And as Prince had mentioned earlier, I can now see why McLaren went with Bobby Reid Prince as a D-mid. Really, he's not really playing D-mid. There's really nothing to really defend against in terms of midfield dominance. You know, it's all attack. It's attack versus defense. So really, you don't necessarily need any specialist defensive midfielders. So I can definitely see the wisdom or the logic in starting a Bobby Reid in that defensive midfield position. A team like this is very weak, man. Very weak, very weak. Nothing to write home about. And they probably would have seen that from the first leg. That this is a team that once you can crack them early, then the floodgates will open up. And that has been the case thus far.
Here's Hayden.
Once you score 1, then you can score 2, you can score 3, you can score 4. So that was another good opportunity again for Jamaica to make it 4-0. So halftime coming up, viewers. 3 minutes added on time. What's the message you will be giving the players if you were the coach in that locker room at halftime? Let me know in the comment section. What's the message to this Jamaican team at halftime from Coach McLaren? What would you be saying if you were in the locker room with these players as the coach? What's the message? For me, it's continue doing what you're doing with that emphasis on tactical discipline, play your position, don't get carried away, and maintaining possession. And of course, I'll be telling them, get the ball wide. Get the ball to Cephas. Things happen when he gets the ball. So, yeah. Control the game, keep the ball on the ground. That's it. The formula is simple. Cut out the long ball. You're already leading 3-0. You don't need to go chasing the game. Control the game. Maintain the game. Bring in your experience. Knock the ball
Reed
around.
will try again.
Keep position. And the space will open up.
He whips it in. Oh,
So that's definitely a good message. Who that? Davian, big up yourself, brother.
Palmer keeps the line for
Big
Hayden.
yourself up. Yeah, man. Great advice, that man.
First time ball in by Palmer. It's
Great
overhead by
advice.
Nicholson.
That's all Jamaica
It
need
would
to
have
do
brought the
at this
house down
point.
if it hadn't
Chances being
gone in.
created left, right, and center at this
Goal
point in
kick
time.
is the outcome.
But you just need to take your chances because, again, the qualifications could possibly come down to goal difference.
In this first
And
half
to me,
conference.
everybody's going to beat up on
Sky
Bermuda.
high.
So expect Trinidad to
Still a
beat
minute left in
Bermuda
the half.
and expect Curacao also to beat Bermuda. The next game in the row will be Curacao versus Bermuda and Jamaica versus Trinidad. So expect a bag up from Curacao for Bermuda. They are the beaten stick. Everybody's going to whip them.
Lembekisa.
So you get them now 3-0 up at halftime. You need to drop a 6.
Eventually is dispossessed. Oh, but he
You
was
gave them
fouled
4 in the
on
first
the
leg.
tackle by Parfit.
This leg at home, you need to put on at least 6. Up your goal difference because the qualification may come down to that.
Gives Jamaica a free
Take your
kick
chances.
right at the
Since
end
they
of the
scored
half.
the third goal, and many of chances have gone begging. And you don't want these chances to
King
come back
takes it
and
back
haunt
towards
you.
the halfway line.
You don't want these
There won't be
chances
one
to come
last.
back and haunt you. But
Reggae Boyz attack here. Back for Blake.
what's the message at halftime is the question. Davian is saying, control the game. Keep the ball on the ground. And I concur with that advice.
Does look up
I
ahead here.
definitely concur with that advice.
Gold shirts in
Control the
middle,
game by
cross for
controlling
Dixon.
possession. Put out the long ball. Keep it short.
Dixon waits for help.
Keep the
Finds
ball moving.
Lembekisa.
Keep Bermuda chasing the game, so to speak. Tire them out by
Lembekisa.
starving them off the ball. And the chance will be created. And of course, I'll be telling the Jamaican team, take your chance.
Bermuda will
Once you
clear
get the
it
chance,
as
take
the
your
half ends
chance.
in Kingston.
But yeah, it's halftime at this point in time. Viewers, subscribers, the score 3-0 to Jamaica, courtesy of an own goal. And then goals from Bobby Reed and Nicholson. Cephas teamed them up with 2 beautiful assists. And at this point in time, he's my man of the match for the first side. Cephas. He has been a thorn in the side of this Bermudan team. Once he touches the ball, things happen. And things have happened by him providing 2 assists. And it's Jamaica 3, Bermuda 0. Yep, for sure. But again, viewers, let me know what your team talk would be. What would you be saying to this Jamaican team at halftime? Will you even be checking on the Trinidad match? Updating the players as to say, hey, that game over Trinidad is now 1-1. Take advantage of this. So that is a result which Jamaica would have been praying for, that Curacao would have dropped points. And in so doing as well, Trinidad would have dropped points. So that should act as an additional motivation for these players. I mean, at this point in time as well, do we give other players a run out? I mean, the game is all but won at this point in time. Would you be making any changes at halftime? Giving the likes of a Whisper a run out, for example. Maybe Whisper come in for a Dixon. I don't know. What says you, viewers, subscribers? Well, viewers, if you haven't subscribed as yet, let me use this opportunity to encourage you. Hit that subscription bell, become a subscriber to Beating the Press podcast. And viewers, if you're here with me, share, get your friends and family to log on to the live. So those are the 2 things at halftime that I'm asking for from our viewers and subscribers. If you've already subscribed, then share the podcast. And if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, hit that subscription bell, hit that like button. Leave a comment in the comment section. Yeah, Davian, I definitely agree. This one is locked up in my opinion. So I'm wondering, maybe some early subs give some experience, some exposure. I don't know. But yeah, after 60 minutes is a good call. Usually that's when you see the subs appearing on the touchline and coming on. So yeah, giving them a run out after 60 minutes is definitely a good look. And that game over there in Trinidad have officially ended. Curacao 1, Trinidad 1. So that game ending in a draw, and that's a result that will favor a Jamaican qualification to the 2026 World Cup. So that's a perfect result for Jamaica at this point in time. That game ending in a draw versus Curacao and Trinidad and Tobago. So it's a good look. So in other words, this round of games, the mere fact Jamaica is leading 3-0 and the fact that Curacao and Trinidad draw is the perfect storm for this Jamaican team, which is looking to qualify for the World Cup. You can't ask for anything better, in all honesty. You cannot ask for anything better. Yeah, for sure. This is definitely a good look for this Jamaica team. This is the ideal situation, having lost to Curacao, that Jamaica would have been hoping for. That is the best result you could ever hope for, as Davian is saying as well. I definitely concur with that analysis. For sure, that is a great look. So, I mean, it's just a case of going back out there in the next half and just taking care, just seeing out the game, in all honesty. Seeing out the game, and if chances do come your way, then put those chances in the back of the net. Because again, while this is a good result, you can never tell what the future holds. It could come down to goal difference. So, as I mentioned at the start of this live, Jamaica's destiny is in their own hands, and at this point, it is still in their own hands. And it even gives them, you could say, a 1-point cushion. So no longer, assuming they beat Trinidad and Curacao beat Bermuda, then that final game versus Curacao in Jamaica, it therefore means Jamaica doesn't necessarily need to win that game. A draw would be good enough for them to qualify. So that's pretty much what this result is basically saying. That's the permutation of this result. That before this game, it was a case where Jamaica had to win the remainder of their games. So they had to beat Bermuda, which they're doing currently. They had to beat Trinidad, which is to come. And they would have had to beat Curacao in Jamaica. This result, if it is to hold, mean they still have to beat Trinidad, but at least versus Curacao, a draw would be good enough. Because we're assuming that Curacao is going to take 3 points off what you can clearly see, viewers, is a weak Bermuda team. So we have to assume that those 3 points are in the bag for Curacao. So we have to then go and take care of business versus Trinidad. Because statistically, Trinidad is still in with a mathematical chance. Because at this point, they would have been on 5 points. With, if they were to get another 2 wins, then that 5 points could turn into 11 points. Which mathematically could still see them through, depending on the result that Curacao gets against Bermuda. So, by some miracle, let's assume Bermuda would have beaten Curacao, then Trinidad, that would be ideal for Trinidad if they're able to beat Jamaica. And then with them getting the easier game in the last game versus Bermuda, then they would be hoping that Curacao and Jamaica kill off themselves and then they go through. So, mathematically, Trinidad is still in with a shot. You know, statistically, yes, they're behind the 8 ball, but mathematically, they're still in with a shot. So it's all to play for them versus Jamaica. That won't be an easy game. So that game now becomes the real test for Jamaica. The game versus Trinidad. They have to get a result in that one to keep hopes alive. But this is an excellent result, an excellent evening of football thus far for Jamaica, leading 3-0 at halftime, and Trinidad and Curacao drawing in their earlier kickoff 1-1. So the perfect storm is brewing for Jamaica. But viewers, tell me, any changes for the second half? And what's the message to the players from the coach? That is the question at this point in time. What is the message from McLaren? And what do you say about the coach? McLaren in or McLaren out? Let's assume Jamaica qualify for the World Cup. Do you give McLaren the opportunity to go to the World Cup, or do you replace him at that juncture? Because thus far, while he may qualify Jamaica, the journey has been a very rocky one. It has not been smooth sailing by any stretch of the imagination. The journey has been a rocky one. So McLaren in or McLaren out. For me, it would be very harsh if you were to fire the coach which brought you to the World Cup. It would definitely be very harsh. But I'm not sure what your views are, viewers. Sometimes a federation has to make tough decisions. Would that be one of the tough decisions that Jamaica have to make to get rid of McLaren after qualification? I mean, the fact is, if Jamaica was to fail in this qualification bid, he would be out for sure. The entire nation would be calling for his head if he was to fail in this qualification bid. But let's say he does qualify. Do we call for his head still, or do we give him the opportunity to go to the World Cup? For me, it would be very harsh. So my vote would be, if he qualifies, give him the opportunity to go to the World Cup. But I am sure if he was to fail, then he would have no future here in Jamaica in terms of taking the team further. But I mean, just thinking out loud, who are some of the names that you would associate with the Jamaican job? If you were to get rid of McLaren, then who are some of the names that could take over? If that is in fact your view. Because it doesn't make sense you get rid of a coach and then you're getting in subpar replacements. So that's the first consideration. Who are some of the coaches that would be linked with this job? Local, would it be the local coaches? Or will it be overseas coaches? And if local or overseas, who are some of the names? I know subscribers like Sir Cole would be calling for a return of Whitmore. A return of Whitmore would be on the call for the likes of a Sir Cole. But what says you, viewers? What says you? But just waiting for the second half to kick off at this point in time. A good first half from the Jamaican team. I wouldn't necessarily use this game as any sort of marker, though, because this is a very weak team that Jamaica is facing, Bermuda. A very weak team. So I wouldn't use this game as any sort of marker. You have to come up against better opposition to really, use a game as a marker. So, I mean, this is the result that one would have expected coming into this game. So, things are playing out as expected. There has been nothing surprising about this game thus far, to be honest, viewers. Nothing is surprising. This is what we expected. We expected Jamaica to dominate possession, take the game to Bermuda, and come up with a few goals, which they have done. So, in terms of a game plan, I think the game plan is working perfectly. There has been no need to draw for plan B. Plan A is effectively working. So more of the same, I would expect come second half. More of the same. And then I would bring on some subs to freshen up the team and to maintain that tactical discipline. I would even go as far as to say I wouldn't even wait until 60. But 60 is usually the benchmark time you see subs coming up. I mean, to me, this game is already wrapped up. If you can see out the first 15 of the second half, if you see that out without conceding or even adding to the scoreline, this game is pretty much won. So that's what I would be telling my players as a coach. Go out there, see out the first 15 minutes of this game. If you see out the first 15 without conceding, this game is pretty much won. If you can even add 2, then there's really nothing. It then becomes really just knocking it around and, seeing out the minutes. Giving some youngsters a run out, the likes of a Whisper Richards, for example. I would definitely be bringing him on and giving him a run out in this one. But we'll see what the coach has up his sleeve. We'll definitely see what the coach have up his sleeve. So just waiting for this one to restart at this point in time. But again, viewers, hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed as yet, hit that subscription bell. And of course, turn on your notifications. So once we upload any new content, you're getting a notification instantaneously. If you have subscribed as already, then do me a favor, share. Share it on your platform. Get some family, get some friends to log on and get involved. Continue to support the channel. We're hoping to reach 500 subscribers by Christmas, and your assistance will go a far way in achieving that goal and that objective. So if you haven't subscribed as yet, hit that subscription bell. If you are already a subscriber, thank you for the support and help me to continue to grow the platform by sharing. And of course, the comment section is wide open. Leave me your comment. What do you think the final score in this one will be? Will it be 4-0? Will it be 5? Will it be 6? Will Bermuda score? Is another interesting question as well. Or will Jamaica keep a clean sheet? In the first leg, it was 4-0 to Jamaica. What will be the final score in this one? So Bermuda making a sub right there. Number 9 out and number 2 coming on. So that's the first sub. So let's see what's going on. Kickoff is about to happen in this one, viewers. Kickoff is about to happen, and we'll be watching this one all the way to the end. Another 45 minutes to go in the second half, and it seems as if, I would say, the bleachers have filled up nicely compared to the first half. More fans are now in the National Stadium. Yeah, that's a good look, man. That is definitely a good look. Still not full to capacity, but definitely improvement in terms of the spectator support compared to the first half. So we'll see how this one pan out. All right, so Jamaica starting off well. Just maintaining possession, knocking it around as we were lamenting they should be doing. So we'll see how this one goes. But early possession from Jamaica, which is what I wanted. Just keep the ball, play it around, and eventually the space will open up. And of course, if you're looking for a goal, just get it wide on the left to Cephas. Once he touches the ball, great things happen.
Place it square for Palmer on the near side.
But for sure, the addition of the midfielders, Palmer coming back into the team, and Hayden coming back into the team, has made a significant difference in this Jamaican team. They look a completely different team. Granted, it may be the quality of the opposition, because as they say, good players look great against weaker opposition. And that might be the case in this one in terms of a eye test. You know, these guys are looking great in this game, but it could be the opposition. The opposition is so weak that you look like a world beater against them, but then you crumble against quality teams. So Jamaica with the first corner in the second half here coming up. Let's see if they can make something after this.
Cross comes in. Oh, it nearly fell for a chance for Cephas, who's already got 2 assists tonight. Couldn't get the shot away from out under his feet. Now Palmer.
Yes.
From Lembakisa. King on the far side. Chance to cross this into the middle.
All right, so another corner. So Jamaica again turning the screws. Again, don't necessarily need to go all out chasing a fourth goal, but definitely showing attacking intent. Two early corners. This one taking shot. Let's see if they can get a shot on goal. That's a good save by the goalkeeper. That one coming through a number of bodies. Shot by Palmer. Goalkeeper coming up with a decent save there. So that's a good look.
Palmer's wonderful performance continues. He tries again here.
Yeah, man, definitely. Palmer has been one of the standout performers. As mentioned, him and Hayden coming back into the team, you can definitely see the difference. He's one of the better ball handlers in this Jamaican team, and that has been on display because Jamaica seen more of the ball. You need players who can get control, dictate the pace of the game, spray a few passes around, and Palmer versus what you could say against a subpar midfield is definitely doing the business in this one. So he has been a good addition back into the team, having been suspended, I believe, for the game versus Curacao. Would he have made a difference in that game? Would Jamaica still have lost if Palmer was in that team? I'm not sure. That is a question that we'll probably never get an answer to. But thus far in this one that he's playing in, he has been showing his quality. I can definitely see the difference there. And here comes Cephas again. Let's see, again getting by another player. Let's see if he can find a delivery. Oh, wow. Again, viewers. Cephas has been the biggest attacking threat for Jamaica in this game. And I would say in the two qualifiers that Jamaica won as well. And if you didn't know the name Cephas, now you should know that name.
Touch forward down the far side.
Because he has been a thorn in the side of this Bermuda team all game long. He has been the standout performer. 2 assists thus far and still looking dangerous on that Jamaica left, the Bermuda right. So that attack leading to a corner. This corner being taken by Bobby Reid, it seems. Let's see if he can get a good delivery going. Former Fulham player. I believe he now plays in the English Championship for Leicester City. So he has dropped down one tier into the Championship, coming from the Premier League. Leicester was relegated last season. So that's where Bobby Reid now plays his football.
Gets it back on the halfway line.
And of course, with this Jamaican team as well, a number of players are missing. A number of, you could say, regular enough starters, the likes of a Gray, the likes of Leon Bailey. Leon Bailey is out injured. So imagine if he is added back to this squad of players, if indeed Jamaica qualifies for the World Cup. That would be on paper, this Jamaican team has possibilities if they can get into the World Cup. They have possibility to better what the 98 team did. The 98 team lost 2 and won 1. And I think on paper, depending if we do qualify and we're lucky enough to drop into a competitive enough group, I feel this team may do better than that team did in 98. Granted, in 98, in that group was Argentina, Croatia, and Japan. One would recall that Croatia finished 3rd in that World Cup in France. Croatia finished 3rd. Argentina went fairly deep in the competition as well. I think they made it to at least maybe the quarterfinals, if memory serves me correctly. Don't quote me on that though. But I know for sure that Croatia finished third
Just to
in
finish
that
the thought,
World Cup in
Bermuda
'98.
play Curacao
I
next.
believe Hakan
Trinidad
Suka,
and Tobago, we
he was a
take you back to
Croatian
this
player. He won the
sequence with
Golden
Nicholson
Boot
weaving his way through
in
the
that
cross,
World Cup as well,
eventually into the
and
middle,
he
and
played
Bobby
against
Reed
Jamaica
nearly scored a wonder
in the
goal
World
here.
Cup. Robbie Earl, now the sportscaster on
He
is
shakes
it
his head, but it's another good
NBC
save by
SN?
Dale Eve,
He scored
who has
Jamaica's
had a strong
first
night, must
goal
be said.
at the
Here is
the
Dixon.
World Cup. So that's a trivia question
Reed's first
that
time
could
ball
pop
into
up.
the middle.
Who
He's
scored the
cut
first
off by
goal in the
Roger Lee.
'98 World Cup for
Did
Jamaica?
Lee let that leap
That
over
was
the
Robbie
end line
Earl,
here?
a bullet header
One or
from
two
a Ricardo
shots.
Gardner
Jamaican supporters,
cross
referee said he kept
from
it
the,
in play.
the left side. I remember it like yesterday.
Hayden.
And a bullet header
Ooh, an
ending
eerie
in the
goal for
back
Palmer.
of the
It's cut out by
Croatian
Critchlow.
goal.
Jamaica win it
That
back
was
again.
Jamaica's
This is
first
Dixon.
goal at the World Cup, scored by
Finishing it wide.
Robbie Earl, a British-based player who now does sportscasting on NBC SN. Oftentimes comes on during the Premier Leagues are being played. And then, of course,
Again, coming
but
into
we
the
did
ninth,
lose that game,
added
3-1. We
Jamaica
did
after the
eventually lose that
disappointment of
game,
the
3-1.
2-0 defeat at Curacao last
I
time
believe
out.
we
They
then faced Argentina and
some
was
of those
battered
questions to bed.
by Argentina, to say the
54
least.
minutes.
I don't remember the scoreline in that one. Viewers, you can do some research and let me know what was the score in that Jamaica versus Argentinian game in the World Cup in '98.
Up the other end,
But
Donna
I do recall that we
behind
beat
here
Japan
from Parfit,
in
who
that third
flashes
game.
it across.
And it was
Initial
Whitmore
back
coming up
heel
with a
was
brace. I
blocked.
believe we beat Japan
Parfit
2
again,
goals to
blocked by
1, if
King.
memory serves me correctly.
And
Whitmore,
Dixon
Theodore Whitmore
cannot
scoring
save it
2
before
goals
it
in that
goes out
one.
for a corner.
And that was, I would say, that was
Well,
you could say
that
that
was
was the
Bermuda's
highest
best
point
chance in quite some
of
time.
Theodore's Whitmore's career. I would want to think that
Blake
was
nearly
his
called
high
upon,
point,
and a couple
scoring
of
2
Jamaican
goals in
defenders, most
a
notably
World Cup.
Richard King.
Not many
Getting
footballers
close on him here.
can
Actually,
say
King
they did
blocks
that.
2 of the
To be honest,
shots.
that is
That nearly would
an
might have actually
accolade you
nipped him
can't
in the
take
end line.
away from
Tucked us out
him.
from that
Not
angle. It was
many
close.
players are able to go to a World Cup
Either
and
way,
score 2
it's a
goals. So
Bermuda corner.
Jamaica beating Japan in that third game. But I think with the sort of quality players we have at our disposal, if Jamaica was to qualify, I think we could do better than that '98 team. Again, depending on which group we fall into. Because if you look at this World Cup, more players, more teams are in this World Cup. And I would want to think there are a number of first-time qualifiers, the likes of a Cape Verde, for example. So imagine Jamaica falls into a group with Cape Verde, for argument's sake. And let's say a team like Jordan or Uzbekistan. You're telling me that Jamaica can't come out of the group? Come on. With the sort of players that Jamaica have? Of course. Of course, I believe they could potentially make it into the second round if they were to qualify, and depending on the group they fall into. Because usually it's 2 teams that come leaves the group. It's usually 2 teams, so I would imagine there would be a top team in that group, and then possibly 3 others. I'm not sure how the draw goes, but Jamaica could get a favorable draw and possibly make it out of the round, which the '98 team didn't manage to do. The '98 team did get a win, which again, a lot of teams can't say that. There have been a number of teams that have gone to the World Cup, but not all of them have actually won a game. Jamaica can say they won a game at the World Cup, beating Japan 2 goals to 1. But what I would say is that Jamaica's football have regressed since '98. Because when you look at the likes of a Japan, who we beat in '98, well, again, Cephas again wreaking havoc down that left side, but just failing to finish or find something on the finishing end. But he has been the man. He has been the man this whole game. Yep. He's unstoppable in the sort of form he's in now. And he could possibly have gone down and gotten a penalty because he was being dragged. But the finishing touch leaving him at the last moment with that shot.
Who already has 2 assists tonight was looking for a goal for himself.
Yeah. But CFAS for sure. For sure. I mean, if fit, he should definitely be on the plane to the United States. Again, viewers, I'm speaking it into being. I'm speaking it into being as if Jamaica will qualify or has already qualified. I am speaking it into being that once fit, on the back of these performances, CFAS should be on that plane because I'm already looking ahead, viewers. I am already looking ahead as to who will make it to that World Cup in terms of player selection because some tough decisions will have to be made. Facts, if in fact Jamaica qualified. So again, I must put that in there. But I am assuming, I'm hoping, I'm praying that Jamaica is there amongst the teams which are qualified. I am hoping because this World Cup has opened up and there are more teams now that are playing in this World Cup when compared to previous World Cups. FIFA has extended the pool or the number of teams that are usually qualified.
Reed under pressure, forced to pirouette. Lovely give and go back to Reed. Reed's cross into the middle. Ronaldo Cephas couldn't get the ball out of his feet.
Yep.
And Bermuda are just about able to clear that. But they cannot keep possession.
Right, so in this World Cup, the numbers have increased. So usually it is 32 teams which go on to the World Cup. This time around, 2026, for the first time, we'll see 48 teams. 48 teams increasing from 32 teams. So right there, you can see that this expansion will allow more nations to participate in the World Cup. So the format pretty much 16 European teams will qualify, 9 African teams, 8 Asian teams, 6 South American teams, and 6 teams also from CONCACAF, and 1 team from the Oceania zone. And of course, 2 other spots will be determined by inter-confederation playoff. So that gives you a total of 48 teams. And of course, several teams have actually already locked in their spots in this edition of the World Cup already. Several teams. So of course you have the host, which this year will be hosted by 3 teams, or 3 countries, I should say. So you have Canada, Mexico, and USA. Those 3 teams have locked in their spot. So those are the host countries. So they have an automatic qualification. So teams already qualified. Japan qualified. New Zealand, they are qualified. Iran is qualified as well. Argentina, the defending champions, the South American champions, the man, the myth, the legend, Messi's team, they are qualified. Uzbekistan, they are qualified for the World Cup. Korea Republic, they are qualified. That's South Korea, they are qualified. Jordan is qualified for the World Cup. Jordan is qualified. Australia is qualified. Australia, I believe some years ago, Australia changed confed. I believe they left the Oceania zone and went into the Asian zone because the Oceania zone was too weak. So I think Australia, if memory serves me correctly, plays out of the Asian zone. And I think New Zealand plays out of the Oceania zone. But Australia is qualified for the World Cup. Ecuador is qualified. Brazil, now being coached by the great man himself, Ancelotti. Brazil is qualified, and they would enter this World Cup as one of the favorites as well. Uruguay, the first winners of the tournament, they are qualified for the World Cup. And it is that man, Bielsa, who is in charge of the Uruguayan team. You will remember him from his time at Leeds in the EPL. Marcelo Bielsa. So Uruguay is qualified. Paraguay is also qualified for the 2026 World Cup. So Uruguay is qualified. Paraguay is qualified. Colombia is also qualified for the World Cup. They had missed the 2022 edition in Qatar, but they are now back for the 2026 edition in Mexico, Canada, and the USA. Morocco is qualified. Morocco, they had a masterful World Cup in the Qatari edition. You would remember them, Morocco. Tunisia is qualified for the World Cup as well. Egypt is there also. That one, of course, being led by Mohamed Salah, the Liverpool great. So Egypt is there. Algeria is qualified. Ghana is also qualified. Cape Verde. Now, Cape Verde, interestingly, is one of the smallest countries ever to qualify for the World Cup in terms of population size. I believe they are the second smallest country to qualify. Who can tell me who is the smallest country in terms of population size to have qualified for the FIFA World Cups? I'm going to give you a moment, viewers. Write your answers in the comment section. Which country is the smallest country in terms of population size to qualify for the World Cup? So I'm going to leave that question hanging. But think about it and give me your response in the comment section. Also, South Africa qualified today as well. Qatar is qualified. And the Three Lions are qualified. England are qualified for the World Cup already. So the Three Lions, who haven't won since 1966. Think about it, viewers and subscribers. England, the home of football, the team or the country which is credited to have invented the sport of football, is yet or hasn't won a World Cup since 1966. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Senegal is qualified for the World Cup already. The Ivory Coast is qualified for the World Cup. Also, Saudi Arabia is qualified for the World Cup. So those are the teams that have locked in their qualification spot. But going back to my trivia question, which is the smallest team to have qualified for the World Cup? Cape Verde, who have qualified for this edition, is the second smallest team in terms of population size to have qualified for the World Cup. But which team is the smallest? I'll give you a moment, viewers and subscribers, to think about that question and give me your answer in the comment section. Which team is the smallest team in terms of population size? Not necessarily geographical boundaries, but in terms of population size to have qualified for the World Cup. I'll give you a moment to think about it. If you can't come up with the answer, then I will share the answer. But the Cape Verde, a group of islands just off the western coast of South Africa, have officially qualified for the 2026 World Cup. And that is a great achievement for that nation. Great achievement for that nation. But, yep, Jamaica looking to also book their spot. This one is pretty much taking place in their backyard in the US, Mexico, and also there will be games in Canada. So, but to give the answers, viewers and subscribers, the smallest team to have ever qualified for the World Cup is Iceland. Iceland is the smallest team in terms of population size to have qualified for the World Cup. And of course, if we recall, that Icelandic team was being coached by Helgrimsson, now sacked coach of the Reggae Boyz. Helgrimsson, ironically, he went to coach, I believe, is it Northern Ireland after leaving Jamaica. But I believe it hasn't been too successful for him over there. I believe Northern Ireland have been eliminated from qualification, if memory serves me correctly. So it hasn't been a successful transition for Hallgrimsson since leaving the Reggae Boyz. But he did qualify Iceland, and they played some good football in that World Cup. Of course, that team was led by Sigurdsson. He was a former player for, was it Everton, I believe? He may have started his journey for Swansea and then moved to Everton. So at the time of that World Cup, I believe he was playing his trade for Everton. But subsequently, he got himself in some problems, it seems, and he have faded into obscurity at this point in time. But Helgrimsson was the man who led Iceland to the World Cup. And Iceland holds the record for the smallest team in terms of population size to have qualified for the World Cup. Cape Verde, coming up in this edition, would be the smallest team going into the 2026 World Cup. So congratulations to the Cape Verde. Massive achievement for that nation. Some small islands just off the west coast of Africa, they are in the World Cup. And of course, Jamaica will be looking to join them going forward. So let's hope Jamaica can do it. Let's hope Jamaica can do it. Let's see how we go. But again, this one is a dead rubber at this point in time, viewers. This one is just about wrapped up, really. It's just a case of seeing out the game and maybe blooding a few fresh players, seeing what they can do, So, but yeah, it's a workman-like performance from the Jamaica team. This is the result which they came into the game for. And this is the result that they're getting. So, well done. I mean, just seeing this one out, making a few substitutions. As I mentioned earlier, giving a few players a run out, seeing what they can do. But a good performance. It's a professional performance, I would say, thus far from the Jamaican team. They needed a result. And they are getting a result, or have gotten a result. And it so happens that things were very favorable as well for them in that game versus Trinidad, Curacao versus Trinidad. Things ended ideally for the Jamaican team because that game draw, this result was 1-1. In that game. Yep. So it was a good look. It has been a perfect afternoon for Jamaica in terms of the results they were hoping for. Can't ask for anything better. beating Bermuda, and then things going perfectly for them in the game Curacao versus Trinidad. So ideal stuff happening this evening. Ideal stuff. But for sure, we can't we have to be looking ahead to the next round, and those set of fixtures will come about in the November window of the qualifiers. The November window, that will be the final qualifying window. And in that window, Jamaica will face Trinidad in Trinidad, and then Curacao in Jamaica. So those are going to be two pivotal games. Those are the two games that will shape Jamaica's qualification future. Those are the two games. But roughly about 74 minutes gone in this one. Just about 15 minutes left to be played. Still 3-0. Still 3-0, and the Bermudan team seem to have given up. Number of players going down injured at this point. Jamaica still pushing to probably get a couple more goals and trying to up their goal difference in this one. But this one was done from halftime, in all honesty, viewers. 3-0 into the half. This one was pretty much done. So it's just a case of seeing out the fixture. Coach McLaren giving a few other players a run out.
Maybe a word of thought to himself there.
Pretty much. But
his team is
I'm not sure
topping the group, going into the final two.
If I'm necessarily satisfied, to be honest, with the performance in the second half. Jamaica not adding to the score sheet. You know, I'm not sure if it's a mentality thing where they are just accepting the win. I'm sure they have another gear they can go up, but I would keep my foot on the gas because, as I mentioned earlier, this qualification could possibly come down to goal difference, and that is the first tiebreaker. Goal difference, then goals scored. Those are the first two tiebreakers. So if both teams were to end on equal set of points, then it will come down to goal difference. So Jamaica need to score as many goals as possible. Jamaica need to score as many goals as possible. So let's see if they can find a few more before this game is called off. Let's see. So they're doing what we expected, maintaining possession, passing it around, trying to create a few more chances, and we see Richard with a run. Wow, and he scores. And he scores. Whisper Richards getting on the score sheet. Brilliant. A solo run. That is it. I was calling for him from the second half, and he has come on and he has delivered. Those two players, viewers, Whisper Richards and Dixon, whenever those two players play, things happen. Things happen. Because they are two crowd favorites, you could say. They are two crowd favorites, and sometimes you need that in a team. You need that in a team. And I think this might be Richard's first goal for Jamaica at the senior level. Or is it? No, I think he may have scored before. I think he scored before. Yeah, I don't think this is his first goal. No, I recall him scoring a long ranger some time ago. I think the goalkeeper made an error and it went through him. But yeah, good for its confidence though, definitely. He's definitely the future. Him, Dixon, Cephas, a good core of young players are developing, and the more opportunity they get, I think the better for this Jamaican team, because you have to be looking towards the future. A number of these players are getting beyond their years and they need the youngsters to come in and take over. So keep an eye, viewers, on Richards, Whisper Richards. He now plays his trade for Chelsea over there in the EPL. He's yet to see any appearance at the senior level, but I'm getting to understand he's tearing up the under-21 league.
Another ball through.
So keep an eye on him. We may yet see him soon
Trying to pick out
in Chelsea blue
on this near side.
at the senior level. So keep an eye on Richards.
Now some pressure here from Anderson.
So, yeah, it was a good run from Richards, taking on the defenders and getting a shot away. But of course, that was clearly poor goalkeeping there. Clearly poor goalkeeping. But if you don't buy a ticket, you don't stand a chance. And Whisper bought a ticket, and he was lucky enough to win the jackpot. He got his goal. He's on the score sheet. And again, another ball looped over the top. Jamaica going back to their old ways again by kicking it long. I'm not sure how many times I'll have to say it on this live, but this is not going to be successful. Well, it hasn't been successful in this game, and it's not going to be successful against better opposition. The long ball. It's not going to be successful. So, again, just looking ahead, this is not as I mentioned, this is not a team to really use as any marker to say Jamaica is playing well. This is just a game to say we needed 3 points and we went out and we got 3 points. So that's it. Just accept it for what it is. All right, so we see a few other changes coming on. A few other players getting a run out, getting a cap for Jamaica. Ian Frey. Ian Frey is a player I've been watching, viewers. He plays for Inter Miami. I believe he plays right back for Inter Miami. And to me, he's a decent player. He is a decent player. He is a decent player for Jamaica. Well, at least for Inter Miami. I'm not sure how he'll slot into the Jamaican team, but I've been keeping an eye on him, and he's a good find. He plays his trade for Inter Miami in the MLS, playing alongside the likes of Messi, Busquets, and Alba. Even though those players are now retired. Busquets retired a couple of weeks ago. And I believe since this week, Alba hung up his boots as well. So the Barcelona retirees are hanging up their boots. Last man standing is, of course, Messi. He may yet have a few games or a few more years in his back pocket at the highest level. Of course, he will be looking to lead Argentina to another World Cup title come the summer of 2026. We'll see how that one pans out. Wouldn't it be amazing, viewers and subscribers, if we saw a World Cup final, Argentina led by Messi and Portugal led by Cristiano Ronaldo? In my mind, the debate is already over. Messi is the man. But just for viewership, wouldn't it be amazing if the World Cup 2026 came down to Argentina versus Portugal, Messi versus Ronaldo? Wouldn't that be amazing? I'm hoping for that final, viewers and subscribers, just for the sport. As to who is the GOAT, Messi is the guy. In my book, Messi is the guy, hands down. But it would definitely add to the sauce, add to the debate, if it went down to Argentina led by Messi versus a Portugal led by Cristiano Ronaldo for the World Cup final come 2026. That would be an amazing final. The entire world would have to pause to watch that one. That would probably be the
Reggae Boyz
most
in the end.
viewed match in World Cup history. The entire world would go and pause just to watch that game. So that would be a perfect end for FIFA, or a perfect match for FIFA in that final.
Jamaica recover it.
Who to tell? It may yet happen.
And now Anderson has space to run into here. He
It
plays
may
it
yet
square.
happen. But yeah, Whisper definitely a good.
For Anderson.
Rounding into farm, he now needs to push for a start Prince in the Chelsea team. But definitely you can see he's a fan favorite. Prince. Turning on the style at this point in time. Yep. But he needs to step up for the Chelsea team, is what I'm saying. He needs to step up.
Recovers it for Andre Blake. And just to reiterate, the last two games for Bermuda in November 13th, they host Curacao. They could play spoiler there potentially. Bermuda could pick up a result there. They played to a 3-2 game last time.
But yeah, around 7 minutes left in this one, viewers.
Get back to that in a second. Jamaica on the front foot.
7 minutes, Jamaica still pushing for more goals. Will it end 4-0 as well? 4-0 in the first leg, 4-0 in the second leg. That's 8 goals to nil.
Bermuda, of course, then
on aggregate over
that's their final game.
290 minutes spell.
World Cup qualifying.
Yeah, we'll see how it
Jamaica
goes.
Go to Trinidad and Tobago.
That will be an interesting scoreline.
November 13th, and then
But
host
for sure,
Curacao here. On the night they hope to potentially clinch a second ever bid to the FIFA World Cup. We will see.
Yes.
6 minutes plus stoppage time left.
6 plus stoppage. But this is exactly what I expected. I just think Jamaica need to do more of this. Keep the ball.
It's down the line.
Keep passing it around.
For Russell.
Space will eventually open up and then you just take advantage of the chances you're creating. But just keep moving the ball.
Flair back over the top for Richards. Richards lays it off. Oh, and the shot's off the post from Frey.
Wow.
Still a chance here. Frey again.
Yeah, this young team definitely turning the screws, you know. You can see that they're now enjoying their football, having now a easy cushion of 4 goals to nil. They're turning the screws. The fans are getting their money's worth. Yes, man. Yep. So Whisper laying that one on a plate for Frey, but Frey shooting against the upright. But yeah, this is what Jamaican fans love. The style. The oohs, the ahs, the piles, the salads. Yeah, man. This is it, man. This is Jamaica football. This is what we love. This is what we go stadium for. Yes, I. But having a 4-goal lead definitely gives you the opportunity to show your individual skills. For sure. But yeah, man, I them thing I will love see, man.
Really talk much about Andre Blake.
I them thing I will love see for sure.
Defense and certainly their ability to possess the ball.
But yeah, this is all we need. This is it. Just yeah. Bermuda has nothing to offer, to be honest. This is a weak team. They have absolutely nothing to offer. Nothing to offer.
Still Campbell, the shot is deflected.
I'm surprised it's not more because a lot more opportunities were created. So 4-0, still a good enough scoreline. But based on the chances created, it could easily have been 5-6. But yeah, just I mean, it's just a case of seeing all the time at this point in time. Nothing more to it.
And then a clear foul there. That's going to be a yellow card for the substitute Hill. You can tell that Jamaica kind of run Bermuda into the ground here at the end. Those fresh legs are certainly making an impact.
Yeah.
Bermuda are struggling to stop them at the moment. It's kind of been the
such are these things, you know. Yeah, man. Jamaica definitely enjoying the ball game now. It's now time for showboating. It's the showboating time now, you know. It's the time to showboat. What? 3 minutes plus whatever is added on by the referee. Let's see if Whisper can deliver something dangerous into the box.
Richards will take it. Header is nudged out onto this near side. It will roll out for a throw.
Yeah, just manage the game. I mean, game management. Pinnock coming up with a long throw. But speaking of long throws, viewers, this seemed to be a new tactic by a number of teams. This long throw inside the box. This is a new tactic that I see a lot of teams employing.
A little back heel for Pinnock. Who fisted across. There was a chance to maybe pounce on
if
that.
memory in recent times,
Bermuda
Stoke City,
so it's cleared away.
Dillap, Stoke City, when Stoke City plied their trade in the EPL, that was one of the weapons that was deployed by Stoke City, and at the time they were one of the few teams really employing this long throw tactic. But in recent time, this long throw has made a rise, has made a comeback. It's now being employed by a number of teams around the world, both at the club level, and we're seeing it here at the international level as well. Pinnock, once he gets a throw anywhere inside that final third, he is hurling them into the Bermudan box and hoping for a knockdown or a flick on to get a goal scoring opportunity. And if the EPL is anything to go by, we've seen a number of goals being scored via this methodology. So definitely something to keep a close eye on.
Maybe one that Eve would want to have back is Richards. Loops this into the middle, headed high into the air.
Well, yeah, definitely since Richards have come on, we've seen an additional element of creativity from the Jamaican team now. So looking on, he needs to be one of the first team names on the team sheet as well. Him along with Cephas and Dixon. That's an exciting trio right there, to be honest with you. Whisper leading the line in the number 9 role. Cephas on the left, Dixon on the right. Yep, that sounds an exciting front three to me. Cephas left, Whisper, number 9, the tip of the spear, and Dixon on the right hand side.
Competitions in multiple international windows as of late.
Not a bad look, in my opinion.
Here, should still be commended for the journey that they have gone on and taken their supporters.
This one pretty much winding down. 4 minutes of added on time. And it seems as if Jamaica is satisfied with a 4-0 win. I mean, it's a job well done. It's an expected job well done. But you still had to go out there and get the win. So, I mean, at this point, we can definitely congratulate McLaren and the Jamaican team for staying alive in the World Cup qualifiers. Definitely keeping your destiny in your own hands going forward. Looking ahead now in that
World Cup qualifying campaign.
Looking ahead in that. So so I'm seeing a message coming in from a subscriber here, and he's asking the question: where does Leon Bailey fit into the equation? Where does Leon Bailey fit into the equation? That's an interesting question. Yeah, it's gonna be rough. As I said, as I was saying,
got exactly the performance he would have been hoping for.
Going, if in fact Jamaica do qualify for the World Cup, then McLaren will have to make some tough decisions.
Jamaica will have the lead in the group going into the final 2 games. That could prove to be pretty pivotal. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yep. So
Frey
Where does Leon Bailey fit in? That is indeed a tough question. I mean, at this point in time, Leon Bailey is out injured.
Long distance shot from
If
Richards.
fit, obviously he's one of Jamaica's better players. But now being injured, will he recover in time to one, be fully fit, two, showing what he can do at the club level, and then three, of course, now leaving it up the coach to select him for the national team. I mean, the World Cup is still a long way off. We're looking at
Richards again.
2026. We're still in 2025. You're looking at summer of 26, which is what, maybe a few months out. It's going to be rough for Leon Bailey, to be honest, on the back of these performances. Because if he can't prove his fitness and then, of course, show his quality at the club level, I mean, Aston Villa did ship him off to Roma. We are yet to see him play a game for Roma. I believe he was injured in his first training session for Roma. So it's going to be a tough call. It's going to be a very tough call for McLaren.
The weaving run there from Hill.
But I mean, controversy is never far away from Leon Bailey, in all honesty. Controversy is never far away from him. So it's going to be a tough call. I mean, some big names will have to be left at home. In all honesty, some big names will have to be left at home from, Steve McLaren when he selects his final squad for the World Cup. And Leon Bailey may be among the big names left out, but time is still there, so we'll see. But congrats to Jamaica for getting a 4-0 win. Yeah, as I said, assuming Leon Bailey is fit, it's going to be tough. Because the next two qualifiers are in November. I don't think Leon Bailey is going to be fit for November. Definitely not. He won't be fit for November. So it's going to, assuming Jamaica qualifies, again, we are going off that. Assuming Jamaica qualifies, it's going to be a tough call for Coach McLaren whether to include Leon Bailey in that final squad. So unless he can prove his fitness, one, so he's fully recovered from his injury. Two, he's playing regular football at the club level. So the two goes hand in hand. He's fit and he's playing. And not only is he playing, but he is on form. Then it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. Well, I mean, he has developed a reputation for himself, Kiri. His rep, he does have credit in the bank then, so to speak. He has credit in the bank. So with credit in the bank, it might be a tough decision for the coach. A big name. I mean, that would definitely be one of the selection headaches, I would say, for McLaren, because he's going to come under pressure from the wider footballing fan base. If you understand what I'm saying. Because Leon Bailey is one of the more popular household names that we know of. It would almost be like the England coach Tuchel now leaving out Jude Bellingham out of the team. We see the pressure he came under, the sort of questioning he came under for that non-selection. I think it will be a similar case for McLaren. So just the fan pressure alone will give him something to think about. But for sure, Leon Bailey has to make a case for himself. If he can make a case for himself, then I think he will be selected. If he's not making a case for himself, then the decision becomes an easy one for McLaren. But yeah, that's where we're at now. We're looking forward to the future, and we're even looking far ahead in terms of the players who will make it to that World Cup. So, I mean, as I said, on the back of these performances, 3 of the names that's already in my book, well, 4, you could say 4. The goalkeeper, Blake, for sure. Whisper, Dixon, Cephas. Those 4 are signed, sealed, delivered. Obviously, the English-based players will also be on the plane. So Hayden and Palmer, they will be on the plane as well. I'm not sure if there are, I think the big decision for McLaren will be in those wide areas, in all honesty. A Demari Gray, a Leon Bailey, a Bobby Reed, those sort of players. But as I said, if Bailey is fit, playing regular football for his club, then it becomes an easy decision for McLaren. If he's not fit, not playing regular football, it still becomes an easy decision. So the decision is only tough if it's almost like half and half, where he might, let's say for example, he is fit, but week in week out we're seeing him on the bench, getting a 15 minutes here, getting a 10 minutes there. Then it becomes a tough decision. But if he is playing, he's scoring, assisting, on farm, it's an easy decision. So it seems like Benji is asking a couple questions or making some tough points here. Even off farm come June next year, assuming we make it, with the media and fan pressure, leaving Bailey home would be a tough decision. That's what I'm saying. So I don't see it. I don't see him not making the plane if fit. That's the key thing. I'm not sure of the nature of his injury, but from what I've seen and heard thus far, I don't think he'll be fit for November qualifiers. So those two qualifiers will come too early in his recovery. It's just a matter now of January. As I said, there is still time in the domestic season. In the domestic season, there is still lots of time. So if he can even be fit in January, February, March, football is still being played in those periods of time. So if he's playing regularly for Roma and is fully fit, he has fully recovered from his injury, then he should easily be on the plane. It may very well boil down to become an easy decision. I'm not even sure where in this team. I mean, looking at this team now, if this team remains as is, obviously the team is going to struggle in the midfield. The weakest part of this team is the midfield. So to me, that is where Jamaica is going to struggle, is in that midfield area. So we need to go and recruit some midfield. Of course, Greenwood was seen as the savior, but he seemed to have turned his back on the Jamaican call-up after it seemed as if the JFF had moved mountains to get him his passport. He seemed to have turned his back on the Jamaica team. Or he was waiting to see if Jamaica qualify and then jump on the bandwagon. What says you, viewers? Would you still accept a Greenwood if he decides to join the team after Jamaica seals qualification? Would you accept Jamaica representing a Greenwood after he would have rejected the call-up previously? But accept once Jamaica is in the World Cup, because everyone wants to play in a World Cup. I'm not sure if Greenwood, with the news which have plagued him, will ever represent England in a World Cup. Jamaica may very well be his bet to go to a World Cup. So let me know in the comment section, viewers, if Jamaica does qualify, would you accept Mason Greenwood into the team? That is one of the looming questions that may arise. Of course. Yeah. Again, Benji is chiming in. With no midfield, like you say, I think we'll be a transition team and a set piece team. I think we may need a good set piece coach as well. Yeah, definitely. I concur. Set piece, last statistic I checked, was accounting for 33% of all goals scored in the EPL. So of every 10 goals that is scored in the EPL, 3 of them are from set pieces. So that is a significant number. So for sure, that's an area, as I mentioned earlier, that teams have been working on to take full advantage of that. Long throws, free kicks, corners, etc. And yeah, I mean, if that is going to be the way Jamaica is playing, then definitely the introduction of a specialist set piece coach would be a welcome addition. Because as I said, based on the midfield that we have now, it seems as if the coach doesn't trust the midfield when it comes to competitive games. In a game like this, we look good. because Bermuda had nothing to offer. But when you come up against tougher opposition, then our midfield seemed to disappear, and the coach seemed to instruct the players to go along. Defense to attack, one big kick, so to speak. So yeah, if you're gonna be bypassing the midfield, then for sure you're gonna need to find goals somehow, somewhere, and set piece is a good place to start. But if I was looking at this team, assuming Jamaica qualify, that's always an asterisk right there. Then I would be looking to recruit midfielders. That is where my scouting teams would be going, searching far and wide for quality midfielders. That is where I would be looking, because I just don't think the players we have currently are good enough. We need ball handlers, we need mobility, and we need people to be able to tackle in the midfield. So those are the three things. Passers, you need persons who are technically good, who can control a game, so to speak. Currently, we don't really have that, but we'll see what transpire. But for sure, lots of questions still to be answered. A lot of these won't be answered until the team is officially qualified, but a step in the right direction. We keep our destiny in our own hands, and we move and look forward to the next set of fixtures in the World Cup qualifying campaign coming up in November. But that's where we're going to end things here, viewers and subscribers. Again, I implore you, viewers, if you haven't subscribed as yet, hit that subscription bell. Help us to grow. Help us to achieve our objective of reaching 500 subscribers by Christmas. And we can only do so with your help and with your support. If you're already a subscriber, then thank you for choosing Beating the Press podcast. You can help us further by sharing the podcast with your friends, with your families on your platform. But on to the next one for sure. So respect to Benji, respect to all our viewers who commented in the comment section. Respect goes out to Kerry Witter, a man who has been on the platform before but seemed to be hiding away. He's an Arsenal supporter, and Arsenal now is riding high. Maybe he doesn't want to jinx the Gunners, but we haven't seen him on the platform in a while. We also see Prince J Music making some comments. Whisper at them for sure. He seemed to be a Chelsea fan. Whisper represents Chelsea in the EPL. Yet to make a senior appearance, but seemed to be doing well at the under 21 level. It seems as if that Brazilian has taken Whisper's position. Big up also to Davian Maxam. Yes. Continue to support the podcast, young brother. Big up yourself. But viewers, thanks again for tuning in to us on Beating the Press podcast. We'll be back for some more live stream, more watch along, I would say, in the upcoming week of the EPL. We're definitely going to be logging in for Liverpool versus Manchester United. So you can join us again to watch along with us that game, Liverpool versus Manchester United over there in the EPL. That will be our next live show. That one coming up, I believe, on Sunday, if memory serves me correctly. I'll double check that, but I believe that one is for Sunday. So join us for that. But of course, we'll be back for the next international break as well, when Jamaica takes on Trinidad and Tobago over there in Trinidad, and also Curacao at home, closing out the qualifiers. And that could be the jubilant moment when Jamaica officially qualify for the World Cup. But thanks again for tuning in to us. Thanks for the support. But until next time, this is Rafa, officially signing off.